Up until now, we've created 12 maps. 6 beginner maps to teach the player how to play, 6 intermediate maps where you practice what you've learned, and now we're going to make 6 expert maps where all hell breaks loose. Stay tuned to see how to beat them. A standard mini golf course has 18 holes. In this episode, we'll show you 10 more maps that we've made. That makes 22 levels in total, so 4 won't make the cut. And by the end of this video, you'll probably be able to guess at least one level that won't make it. The first map is a nice organized forest with a lot of space for the ball to go through. Initially, we had the idea of having these moving blocks between each row of trees. However, this raised two problems. One of them, clearly, if your ball gets hit by the block, it will get lost in the forest. If this were to happen, I'm sure everyone will rather just reset the map instead of playing any further. The second problem is that it's possible to get a hole in one, and we said we're not making any more of those. So to solve both problems, we've changed the map a little bit. The ball and hole are located on two opposite sides diagonally from each other. This way, you have to navigate the ball through the woods. There's a lot of room to mess up, so try not to overpower your shots, or else the ball will bounce off into the opposite direction. We still don't know how many shots will be needed for a perfect score for this one. We'll know after a few more tests. The second map seems brutal at first, but it's not. What's interesting about this map is that the moving blocks are moving diagonally rather than a straight line. The goal is to get to the second island landing close to the rock, and from there go for the hole. After a while, we tuned it down a little to avoid discouraging players from playing. Now, the moving blocks are only on the first and last island, and we've also added some rocks as a safety net in case your ball gets propelled towards the water. Other than that, you still do as mentioned before to win. The third map is like a chessboard, and I'll be honest, I really like how it looks. At first, we used large obstacles in the columns closer to the walls, and smaller obstacles in the column next to them. But as you can see, it's really hard to see where I'm aiming. We solved this problem by replacing the large obstacles with another small obstacle. Now it's much easier to see where you're aiming. So basically, the only thing you have to do is squeeze your ball through the obstacles and get to the other side. We also made another version without the sand blocks to see if it's still a fun map or just looks good. And it just looks good. The fourth map is a big one and will probably be one of the final levels. It's a massive test of patience and accuracy with tight corridors and windmills. The level felt a bit too long and tedious, so we removed the middle portion in order to reduce repetition. Now you just have to pass through the windmill at the start and try hitting the cactus. From there, you transfer the ball to the other part of the map, again, preferably positioning yourself using the cactus. And now, all you have to do is the opposite from the beginning. Go through the windmill again and sink your ball in the hole. The fifth map is a massive course that goes in a circle. Square. Squircle. In the middle of the map is a windmill. The main inspiration for that is a song that has something to do with windmills of the land that turn forever hand in hand. Other than that, it's a straightforward map. By the time you reach this map, you should already be a master of wall bounces. Not a lot of pools of water lying around, so it's not that dangerous. The only bad thing apart from sinking in water on this map is if you position your ball in an awkward place. But there is plenty of room for you to move around, so it's not that bad. The sixth one is brutal. Similar to the fourth level, this map is also mirrored. On this level, you get to start on the right side for a change. Not sure if they'll somehow prank the player, since most maps start you off on the left. Here you have two pools of water and moving blocks that go really fast. To show mercy to the player, if the block were to hit your ball by any chance, there's a very high chance you'll be pushed into water. That just helps you with resetting the ball, since I don't think you have a lot of chance to land your ball in an awkward position. That's why this block in the inner pool is here, in case you hit the windmill blades. The trick here is to focus on both moving blocks and the windmill at the same time and go through all of them without getting hit. Land on the sand in the corner and go across the field. When you reach the second sand pit, go through the blocks and windmill again, but in reverse. I would recommend getting off the sand first to have full power. The seventh map is evidence that I was running out of ideas. After a while, we gave it a little makeover. We were experimenting with different tiles, but in the end decided to connect them all, making them one block. The beginning of the level features a fork in the road. You can decide where to go depending on your playstyle. You can take the path closer to you by using gentle swings and move carefully through the trees. Or you can swing like an animal through the other path and hope to land somewhere useful. Either way, you'll be faced by the windmill and the long narrow path in front of it. And this little U-turn at the end. Come to think about it, it's not that bad of a map. Unlike The 8th map, where we really hope you enjoy navigating through these narrow paths. As the map before, it got a tiny makeover, but it didn't really help in the fun department. Again, you choose your own playstyle, soft and gentle, or barbaric brute force. I've sped up this part since there's not much to talk about until the end. When you reach the top, then I would recommend going slowly since there's some water near the hole. The 9th map, the one that probably won't make it in the game. Can you guess what it is? I know the Godot logo is supposed to be blue, but if the level was made mostly out of water tiles, it'd be too frustrating to play. There's not a lot going on this map apart from its entire shape. The hole is just above the nose and between the eyes, so it's not even difficult to win. We might keep this one as a secret level if you beat all the championship with a perfect score. Maybe not. The 10th and final map for today. With 2 versions, but we'll show you the extended version since that's the one we'll be using. A map in the shape of a horseshoe with a bunch of moving blocks, water and sand. As you progress through the map, the path gets narrower and narrower until you reach the final section where it's only 1 tile wide. Why does this remind me of another game a lot of us played? To win this, always pay attention to the moving block. The first one is the slowest, so it won't be much of a challenge. Land your ball across next to the sandpit close to the rock in the middle. Travel north, dodging the other moving block that's faster than the previous to the desert land. Preferably near the bones. If you're too far away, try getting your ball somewhere between the 2 water tiles before the moving block. The final block has the same speed as the first, but its path is much shorter. Try aiming for the hole and victory. And those were the 10 new maps we designed. We'll still do a lot of testing and then decide which maps will make it into the final game. We hope you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing and follow us on our social media. In the next episode, we're going to make the map selection screen. So until then, have a good one.